Yes, everyone, what's going on? This is Stephen Howson. This is Full-Time Devils. United have lost at the London Stadium 3-1 to West Ham, and it was atrocious. And for me, it represents it's got to be over for Jose Mourinho now. There's no way that he is able to turn it around. I don't think. I still think there was hope that he could turn it around. I thought inconsistency from the way the season started. Couple of good games. It looked like we was going to be able to put some sort of a run together after the three excellent results we had on the road. Wolves happened. Derby happened. You needed a reaction from the players today. I don't think it's right to say the players aren't playing for him. I don't know how you can gauge that. So I don't believe in that. I only go off what you can evidence. But what I can evidence is this was going to be a tough game. I thought we could get a draw here, but the manner of the capitulation. Jose picked a team today which highlighted his prejudices against certain players that he's fell out with, players that he doesn't like. And obviously he played a player that he doesn't like and he hasn't been getting on with, or two of them in Martial and Pogba. But the fact that he left Eric Bailly on the bench and played McTominay at centre-half is just nuts. The fact he even left Darmian on the bench and played McTominay at centre-half was inexplicably daft. And I think he probably pays for it with his job. It wasn't just that. It was the fact that I think I like to tactically watch football matches and try and work out what the manager's trying to do. And sometimes you go, all right, that's what he's after. Oh, okay, he's done this for that reason. He's done this for that reason. United played a team today of literally just the biggest footballers that we could find. When you play a team of the biggest footballers you can find, you're sacrificing speed. Not usually in the likes of Pogba, because Pogba's a little bit different to most lumpy sort of players. But for the most part, you're sacrificing a little bit of speed. I didn't understand United's tactics. I looked at it, I thought, I could guess what the formation is. I was wrong. I thought it was going to be a 4-4-2 diamond, with Pogba played a little bit ahead, packed the midfield with three big lads, maybe deny the space and stop the passes coming through. But then when they line up and it's a three at the back and McTominay's part of it, you're like, we tried this in pre-season and it did not work. I didn't see any evidence of why this would work. Now, it kind of worked in the first half against Tottenham, having a midfielder play right-sided centre-half, but that was for a very specific reason, to pick up a very specific player. And you had Ander Herrera on the bench, so why not utilise somebody in Ander Herrera who's done that exact job in the past before, and it's been largely successful. I know you're going to say, well, we lost 3-0 to Spurs. Yeah, we did lose 3-0 to Spurs. I thought that was individual errors from actually proper centre-halves as well, not from the midfielder. It was a madness today. I don't know what Jose was trying to do, and I think that is the maddest problem. The biggest problem is, it isn't that we tried to do something and it didn't come off, because I think that's excusable. I think you can go, do you know what? We tried to do something, it didn't happen. But the last three games, not only have we tried to not have we tried to do something, I don't know what we've tried to do, but whatever it was hasn't come off. Now, I've said there's a hierarchy of blame. I definitely believe there is a hierarchy of blame. Do I think Jose's 100% at fault? No, I don't. Do I think he's 0% at fault? I don't. There's definitely a proportion of the blame, and I think a lot of the issues that we've got, some are hard to fix, some are almost impossible to fix unless any of you lot have got 4 or 5 billion sticking around doing nothing in your bank account. But some of the problems were easy to fix, and it's attitude. Attitude, for me, always goes a long way. People's attitude, players' attitude, the manager's attitude. As soon as that transfer window's shut, you can talk about whether he was backed or not. I don't believe he was to the players that he wanted. But the window's shut in August, and we're in almost October. And I think we're still seeing the effect of him not getting what he wanted. Not in terms of he's not able to put the team he wants on the pitch, but his attitude to the situation that he found himself in. As soon as August the 9th rolled around and the window closed, and he should have gone, right, this is the squad that we're working with, let's try and put together a plan. He would have known a couple of weeks out, you ain't getting Toby Alderweireld, you ain't getting Willian, you ain't getting any of these players that you want to bring in. So that's when he needs to sit down with his coaches and go, okay, how do we make the best out of this situation? But I don't think we got that from Jose. It feels like he took it out on the players. It feels like he took it out on the fans. For a good month, But in the last 3 or 4 weeks, his attitude to the fans changed. You saw the difference at Burnley after the Spurs game. And he's trying to play the fans on side. And it felt all right at a time. You're like, do you know what? At least he's actually trying to acknowledge us here, because we've been an afterthought with the guy since he came. But it definitely feels like too little too late now. It definitely feels like this guy doesn't either have the trust of the players or the ability to be able to turn this around. And that is the starkest, most dangerous and most frightening thing in this whole situation. Because if Jose can't turn it around, then he's done. Now, I interviewed Martin Edwards, his current United president and former United chairman. He's a guy responsible for hiring Fergie. Left the club with the Glazer takeover 2005. Or somewhere around that time. Might have been a touch earlier, actually, before David Gill took over. I think it was around 2002, 2001, something like that. So he oversaw a pretty successful period as chairman of the club. Now, I asked him specifically about Ron Atkinson, because Ron Atkinson on paper finished 3rd twice and 4th twice. And one of those occasions, United had gone, I think, 10 or 12 games undefeated at the start of the season. Absolutely rocked everybody's world. But it didn't come off. We wasn't able to complete the job. And then we got rid of him and we brought in Sir Alex Ferguson, who took us in those first few seasons from 11th, and then 2nd or 3rd, and then back down to 11th, and then 13th. And you look at the relative stability that you had under Ron Atkinson, and then the pure instability and underperformance that you had under Sir Alex Ferguson in the early years, and you go, why did you get rid of Sir Ron? Why did you get rid of Big Ron to bring Sir Alex in? Now, what Martin said was, in the summer, Ron had come to me and offered his resignation, and I'd rejected it. And then when October, November rolled around, and he then, results weren't going his way, he got rid of him and he brought Sir Alex in. Because the man didn't have the confidence in his own ability, he was never going to be able to turn it around. Now, I don't know if Mourinho's handed his notice in or anything like that. I very much doubt it. But the picture I'm trying to paint and the illustration that I'm trying to make for you is, if the guy doesn't have the confidence in his own ability, it's over. If he doesn't have the backing of the staff and the players, it's over. Now, I don't look at anyone else in world football and see evidence that they're able to come in and produce better than Jose Mourinho. You can only go off evidence. You can talk about potential, you can talk about this, that and the other, but evidence-wise, there is nobody better for Manchester United right now than Jose Mourinho. But that doesn't mean that someone else can't come in and make it work. And it almost feels like the time is upon us that somebody else needs to be given the opportunity to make this work. Because football management is as much about man management as it is about pulling tactics out. Kevin Keegan's shown that. Kevin Keegan has got the tactical nous of a cat. But he managed to put in title challenges because he made players believe. He made them believe. There's an excellent book called The Mixer by a guy that I don't like, but his book's excellent. You should definitely check it out and read the chapter when it talks about Kevin Keegan, who didn't have a clue what he was doing tactically. Literally did not have a clue, embarrassingly so. But because he made the players believe in themselves and in him, he massively overachieved what his management ability was. Currently at the moment, Jose Mourinho is underachieving compared to his management ability. Now, there might be mitigating factors. Some of it might be the board. Some of it might be these players have stuck around too much, believe their own hype, ego problems, and all the rest of it. But I don't think that Jose Mourinho has got the capability anymore to take United forward. And I think it's about time that someone acts and salvages this season, because the way it's going, I think we could end up 11th today. And yeah, it's early doors in the season, but do you honestly see us getting into the top 4 unless we turn it around today, this week, next week? Chelsea are flying at the moment. I hope they beat the Scousers later. I don't know if they're gonna. It's going to be a great game. But they could do. Liverpool are probably going to put in a legitimate title challenge this season, and you have to be wary of what City are going to do. That's 3 teams that are undisputedly better than us at the moment, which means you're hoping Arsenal get clogged up with Europa League football, and you're hoping this fog carries on over Spurs, or we ain't getting in the top 4. I'm not even going to try and come to the questions because they're going a little bit too quick. But get your comments in once the video's up, and I'll come and reply to as many of them as I can. Adam's going to be with you with what I'm sure are going to be some pretty inflammatory fan cams. Keep it locked for those. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.